What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. We're going to talk about Necrotic Wake in just a second. I want to give you some big tips and tricks on Necrotic Wake. I'll just give you an update on the character. So far, we've had one night really of Mythic Plus. Done some 7s and 8s. I'm going to get all these keys up to snuff today. I really didn't have a full day to do it yesterday because we had raid and I had my kids for the day, and it was just a busy day. So we'll get to the rest of this today. And Mythic Plus has been really fun so far. Lynx and I, my tank, have been kind of working out different routes that we want to look at and trying to figure out how I want to tackle that stuff. But today I do want to talk about this Necrotic Wake that we did, and I want to give you guys some helpful hints if you are struggling at all to do this key. There are some helpful things that I want to tell you about, and the second last boss is really hard. So right now I think it's actually bugged. I think it's doing way too much damage. So I'm going to try and walk you through that fight and how we struggled on it. You're going to see us struggle on it. A hint that I would say at the beginning is you want to pull really big and probably pop Bloodlust. Now this week it's Tyrannical, so you could probably hold Bloodlust if you want. It's really up to you. You need to figure out what route you want to go here. Bloodlusting the boss is probably the way to go because you're so close to the boss. You get to the boss within the first like 2 minutes of the dungeon, maybe. So in that respect, I guess the first 3 minutes or so, because we're gonna go clear this other stuff over here, and then we get to the boss. By the way, a couple tips here. The Kyrian like dudes don't work anymore. Sorry, I'm backtracking this for a second here. I'm gonna go way back here. The Kyrian like constructs don't work anymore. You can't activate them in any way, so that's not a bonus that you get. But the spears and the orbs are still present in the dungeon. So here's a spear right here. I'm about to grab it. You can see it's kind of glowing. There we go. I've got a spear now. You get an extra action button. The spears don't do anywhere near as much damage as they used to, but they're still valuable to have. And the orbs are the bigger thing. We're going to get to the orbs in a minute. They are really important. So we end up pulling this mid pack here as well. I kick the range stuff. And then we go up the platform here and we pull this pack as well. And then we'll start the boss fight after this pack, okay? The reason is because we're going to end up pulling the boss up to this platform eventually. We're going to use the room here. And on the higher Mythic Plus keys, you do need to use as much room as possible. Like, you just have to. You need to make a lot of room for this boss because he is quite annoying. Okay, so here's Blightborne. We don't have Bloodlust. Again, I think probably a mistake that we didn't use Bloodlust on the boss because we're only like what 4 minutes in or something, 3 minutes into the dungeon. So we probably could have would have been fine. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're on the boss fight. One important thing on this boss fight is once he spawns his little, he does a frontal, right? Heaving Wretch. By the way, this is not what you want to do. Do not start running around like maniacs, because then everybody's going to get hit by the Heaving Wretch. Watch this. We're all going to get hit by it right here. Boom. That's really bad. Don't do that. You want to just plant yourself. Just plant yourself, and everybody else just gets away from you, and you get hit with the dot, okay? In higher keys, that'll kill you. So don't. And then what you want to do is you want to have a crowd control rotation ready to go for the worms, okay? So our tank and our other shaman combine their chains plus a cap totem to slow down the worms and to stun them. So that's what you need to do. Every cast of the worms, you're going to need something. So here's the second cast here. I'm knocking them up, and then they're going to be slowed. I could have used my slow totem as well. That would have been a good idea. But you can see Asterio is just getting eaten over there, which is too bad. He had to use a health pot. So that's us not using our crowd control very well, but that's okay. We'll get there. This is our like first time doing a +7. Now we're up on the platform and we have a lot of room to work with, and you're going to want to put the green puddles obviously behind the boss, like where we're standing right now, and then you're going to want to move this direction, right? You want to move up here. So there we go. Now I have cap totem for this one, so boom, I'm going to stun them, and then they're stunned, and we're good. We're going to keep moving. So that's the cadence of the boss fight. Only get hit, one person should get hit by the breath, and then use your crowd control on the worms, and you should be fine. That's not too hard. Now, this is the section here where you can start getting orbs. You can see there's an orb at the top of your screen, way over here. See that little glowy Kyrian orb there? Very important. As a shaman, you should kick this guy. My tank is running this direction. He's going over here. I want to kick this guy, okay? There we go. Boom, kick him, and then you'll bring him in. It's easy peasy, right? If you do that. Now, also, our rogue was silencing everybody, which was so good. Sleep did a really good job on his rogue, silencing everything. I think the value of an assassination rogue, to me, just cannot be overstated. It's so good. Also, you want to single target down the necromancer, because once you kill him, a lot of the other skeletons are going to die. So make sure you kill the necromancer. Watch what happens when he dies. He's going to get rid of almost all the other mobs that are here. Boom, there's only 2 left, okay? So make sure you kill the necromancer. You basically want to do single target damage. I'm going to grab the orb. If you're already holding a spear when you grab the orb, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You just won't be able to use the spear until you've used the orb. See my extra action buttons at the bottom of your screen? My spear action button is gone now. It's been replaced with the orb. So I have to use the orb first, then I can use the spear. The bone guy here, the bone mender, he's very annoying, and you need to pay attention to him. So you need to kick bone mend, and then if he tries to do bone mend again, I would knock him up and stun him and do everything in your power to stop there. I knocked him up right there. You want to stop him from casting that spell, because if he gets it off, it's a full heal, and I think he actually gets it off right here. Maybe he doesn't. Oh, he's doing final bargain. Yeah, final bargain is where he full heals. Watch this. Look at that. See? So you got to get rid of that. Now, he dies really quickly after he's got final bargain on himself, but you still just don't want him to get the full heal off. It's just really annoying. So, okay, we killed this pack. I've got 1 orb, and there's another orb waiting for us over here. You can see it's right at the top of your screen, right there. Okay? So, there's 2 choices you have here. You can skip this pack, and a lot of mobs skip this pack. However, I will warn you, these guys have vision now. The main guy standing over here, he has vision, so he can see you if you're stealth. Now, you can still cut through this section over here. If you have a warlock gate, it's really easy. There is a way to skip this pack, but it is very dangerous. It's very dangerous, and it almost never works. You need to get into a group of people that know exactly what they're doing. If you're pugging this key, I would highly suggest just doing the strategy I'm about to tell you, okay? Because trying to skip this pack can be a real headache, and it will wipe your team. Okay, so here's what we do. I have 1 orb already, okay? Lynx is going to jump in. I'm going to go in with him, and I'm going to pop my orb. This orb will silence and damage all nearby enemies. You can see they keep trying to cast spells, and they keep getting interrupted over and over again. Once this orb is done, I'm going to go grab the second orb right here, and then I'm going to run back in, and I'm going to pop my second orb. And that's going to continue to do damage and silence these guys. This is so important because it lets your DPS just go crazy and pop their cooldowns and blow up the enemy. That's what they get to do, okay? If you don't do this, if you don't use the double orbs here, you're going to have a much more difficult time. Yes, you can stun those guys and you can get a kick order and stuff, and eventually, maybe further down the line, once we get really good at this key, we won't have to use 2 orbs there. But for now, I would say it's a really good strategy. Just use both your orbs right there, and you'll have a much easier time doing that. Again, later on, that's probably going to end up changing, but I would just say for now, just bite the bullet and use those orbs and don't worry about it. That would be my advice. This next section after the bridge has been changed. The different packs in this next section have been moved. There used to be a really big mini boss guy who patrolled right here. He has been moved. And the necromancer that's over by the stairs, when you approach the next boss, they have been moved up here. So you're going to have to fight the mini boss later on as well. They force you to fight him now, which, you know, whatever. You might like that, you might not like. He's actually a pretty easy mob to kill. Again, on this pack, you want to kill the necromancer very, very quickly because he will kill every other mob once he's dead. There we go. Boom. Everything dies. Now, you're going to have to pick up a decent amount of the trash in this area to make up the percent for the rest of the dungeon. We didn't have a route like clearly established yet because for some, again, all the packs got moved around in this dungeon. So nobody really knows exactly what the count that you're supposed to get is yet. We're going to figure that out soon. But for now, it's a little bit up in the air in terms of what we should be getting for count. There's another spear here you can grab. Again, you can't activate the golem, but you can use the spear. So now I have 2 spears, which is really nice. And then what we ended up realizing later was that we actually pulled way too much here. We didn't actually need to pull this pack, I don't think. But it is what it is. It's just, again, we were figuring this out. And it's just the way it goes sometimes. Also, you got to watch out for melee. When this guy does gruesome cleave, he can easily kill you. That's it. That right there. You can't be standing next to the tank. It's kind of a weird ability, but anyway. I end up resing the rogue. We end up pulling everything in this area, but again, we did not need to pull everything in this area. I'll just reiterate that. We are going to figure out what the count should be soon. Here's this pack here. Probably could have skipped this, and then we will move on to the final guy. Remember, so this used to be remember the other pack used to be here, and now it's the mini boss. So he's actually quite easy. He puts some things under your feet, frigid spikes. You got to watch out for those, and then he has a big suck mechanic where he tries to pull you in. You just have to run away from it. It's really not a big deal. I actually figured out you can go up on the stairs here. You can trigger the RP early. I went and triggered the RP for the boss early on, so we can save some time. There's the Reaping Winds there that's going to pull you in. But again, if I was standing on the stairs here, for whatever reason, the Reaping Winds did not pull me in. I was not getting sucked in. You can see Lynx is running away, but I don't need to. I'm just standing here. So there might be some secret tech with the stairs. I think if you tank if the tank is able to stay down here, your range can just stay up here on the stairs, and you do have to avoid the frigid spikes, I guess, but the suck for whatever reason wasn't affecting us. So little tip there, and then make sure you get the RP. And then there's another spear here, and Lynx is going to grab this spear. I think he just jumped over the screen to get it. You do not want to use the spears on this boss. I repeat, do not use the spears on this boss. You need it on the next boss. The next boss is the really bad one. Really, really bad. Okay. So this one, you just need to kick all the ads and bring them in. Lots of crowd control is good. We had a silence that was good by Stereo. He did Shadow Priest. He silenced that guy. This is a really big deal. If you're a shaman, you need to show up to this fight. Okay. You need to be present on this fight because you have a ranged kick and you have a knock up. You have a stun. You can really help your team out by kicking, a straggler like a mage or something on the outskirts that he's casting Frostbolt volley maybe. You can really help your team out, right? So, and then the silence was huge, man. The rogue, having the assassination rogue here was crazy, but there's lots of the ways that you can. I knocked everybody up there. I have my stun as well. I'm going to save it for the next one, but the point is you can really help your team out here as a shaman. And it's a really big deal if you do. Okay. So at this point in the run, we've almost been flawless. We have 2 deaths. We've had a near flawless run. It's been really good. It's about to get really unflawless. Okay. All the trash packs in here, you can pull these in whichever order you want to pull them, but it's very dangerous. Gore splatter is very important to kick. Okay. That is a massive priority on a kick, is gore splatter and drain fluids. Of course, both of these are important, but gore splatter is more important than you think it is. If this thing goes off, it'll do probably 60 to 70% of everybody's health bar. Okay. It's very dangerous. You do not want it to go off. Okay. So get your kicks figured out, get your CCs figured out, and make sure that you get drain fluids and get gore splatter. Very, very important. Okay. We kill this pack. We kill the next pack. It's just, this is the rest of your trash here. But you can see we started this platform at 79% trash count. See this? 79%. Let's see what happens here. We're at 84 now. Now we're at 88. Now we're at 90. We're at 94. We have 3 packs to go. This pack here, the one on the left and the one on the right, that's going to spawn again. So like we are way over percentage. We're probably over by 10% maybe. Okay. It's very, very interesting. So again, we're going to figure that out later. These guys do a double throw cleaver. You want them to throw their cleavers at each other. You need to stand behind the guy over here and stand behind the guy over here. And then they're going to throw their cleavers and they're going to try and hit you, but they're going to hit each other. That's how you do this fight here. So you want these arrows to be pointed at them. That makes sense? We almost messed it up here, but we got it in the end. They'll take a lot of damage from that, okay? That's the main mechanic you want to do here. And then watch out for morbid fixation. Just run away. Don't die. Okay, that's one pack. Once we're done this pack, we're at 99% trash already. So we really messed up here on the trash count because we have 2 full packs to do here. We probably over percented this by maybe 6%, I'm guessing, maybe 7%. We might have been 6 or 7% over, which is kind of wild. But anyway, just something that we're going to do better on the next run. Now, here's the next boss fight coming up. This is the hardest boss fight in this whole dungeon, and it might now be the hardest boss fight in any dungeon I think, period. I think it might be. If you do it correctly, it's good. But if you don't, you're done. This boss fight has a new mechanic. These constructs have a AoE rot damage that goes on that ramps up over time, okay? It ramps up over time. This did not used to be the case on this fight, and it is incredibly deadly. Very, very deadly. Everything else about this fight is normal, but that rot damage is not, and it's, boy, is it ever frustrating. So we did not have Bloodlust here, and we just didn't realize. I didn't even know what was going on until it was too late. This is where you want to throw your javelins, by the way. Any spears you've collected, you want to throw them at the boss right now. You would Bloodlust right now. You would pop all cooldowns right now. That's what you would do on this dungeon. Now, we were just not prepared. As Illidan would say, we were absolutely not prepared. You want the meat hook to go into Stitchflesh, which we messed up there. Again, if you mess that up, it's probably a wipe. I'm not kidding. If you mess up one mechanic on this fight, it's a wipe, basically. And then we're all dying to the rot damage. We didn't realize what was going on, but the rot damage. Look at our health bars tick down. Watch the tick here on our health bars. Boom. 25% of our health. Watch this again. Boom. 30% of our health. Ready? Watch this. Boom. Another 35% of our health. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy how much rot damage there is. I did not know. Yeah, you can see it right there. Hold on. I'm gonna show you the tooltip. 1 second. I just want to see it again. I scroll over it really quickly here on this ogre. 216,000 plague damage every 3 seconds. That ramps up though, and it was actually doing way more. It was probably doing, I think, 1 million. I think Sleep actually says it here. Hold on.
Yeah, and it was hitting for a million.
A million. So it was hitting Sleep for 1 million every time it ticked there. So massive problem. So it takes us a really long time to figure this out, and we end up dying multiple times, and then we thought we were just going to leave the dungeon. And what I want to show you really quickly here is how we actually ended up beating the boss. We end up getting Bloodlust back. I think this is the pull. I mean, if it's not, I'll just go to the next one.
We're pretty far away from
so we throw the hook here, okay, and then we're gonna pop Bloodlust, I think. Here we go. Now we have some cooldowns.
Yeah, you just gotta stay on it.
We've realized that we need to pump. Actually, no, this is wrong. So what we think we have to do is pump the ad now, because this boss fight used to be basically ignore the ad and kill the boss. So we thought to ourselves, okay, we need to kill the ad so that we can kill the boss after. But it just didn't work. Like, we're pumping all this damage into the ad. Look how much damage we're taking per second. Boom. There's another 1 million damage. I'm blowing cooldowns left and right.
Wow.
We pumped all that damage into the ad, and that meant that the boss had only lost like 20% of his health.
We basically did no damage. Like, this fight's gonna take way longer.
Yeah. We realized really quickly that this is basically going to be impossible. So this is, we're going to keep going here. So we have rot damage going again.
I don't know.
And now he's back down, but again,
I'm sorry.
Because the last time he's at 75%.
Oh yeah, sorry.
now we have to throw this at the boss. You want to try and throw this at the boss? Watch this. So he's going to do morbid fixation. But here we go. You hook him out of morbid fixation. That's how it's supposed to go. Look at the rot damage we're taking.
We're all dead.
Look at our health. Like, it's just too much.
That has to die.
It's way too much. So we realized that we're actually just going to go and do it. We actually checked the charts, and we've seen that there's only one group that's actually done a +10 of Necrotic Wake so far. Only one group in the entire world has done a +10 and timed it. So we're only doing a +7, but it's pretty close. So we go back in once again, and this time I think we have Bloodlust, and we try to go crazy here, and we try to absolutely annihilate the boss. We go back to the original strategy for this dungeon, which is to annihilate the boss and kind of ignore the ad, okay? So we're going to see that right here. Here comes the first hook. And again, there's still crazy damage going on. This is very, very difficult for the healer now. Like, this fight is twice as hard as it used to be for the healer. There we go. We got our Bloodlust. We're pumping the boss, I think. And we get the extra haste as well from the affix. So you can watch Sturgeon Stitchflesh's health is going to go down pretty quick here. We get the meat hook here. Stop the morbid fixation. Boom, there we go. even after us pumping the boss
Darkness down in the middle.
100% here. Look at our health ticking down, by the way. Look at it go down every time. Even after us pumping everything with Bloodlust, we only had him.
This suddenly looks way more doable.
We got him down to about 35% HP. So it does actually feel completely doable to me. If we had more item level and stuff, like it's very, very doable. But it's still, the margin for error on this fight, I feel like, is basically zero. The rot damage coming out from these constructs is way too high. Like, it is outrageous how much damage they're doing. So we end up almost dying here again. I think we do end up getting through this fight, but the rot damage is just absolutely crazy.
Kill the eye and we win. Kill the eye, we win.
We kill the ad, but we get another ad, and then Lynx ends up dying. I don't remember if they actually kill this boss or not. I think we do, actually.
Is it a her?
I think we end up killing him here. There's morbid fixation. We get the meat hook. Oh, meat hook misses.
Oh, no, it
The meat hook missed, so he moved.
You have to coordinate that. That's, yeah.
We do end up killing him, though, I think. Yeah, there we go. We end up killing him. So that's going to be a nightmare of a fight, and I'm telling you right now, it's going to get nerfed. I really hope, because it's completely insane.
The person being
I don't even really understand what's going on with that fight. It's so crazy. Last boss fight. Nothing has changed on the last boss fight. You need to... somebody's going to get sent downstairs. You need to dispel the person who gets frozen binds, but don't dispel them until everybody else has cleared the area, or else somebody else is going to get rooted. And then you need to move your feet here when he starts doing his Comet Storm. Don't get hit by this. This is literally a one-shot on higher keys.
Voice line there.
That's the whole fight. Nothing has changed about the fight. Somebody's going to get sent downstairs. That's the whole fight, okay? I think we end up dying a couple times on this guy as well. But we do finish this key, for better or worse. We do end up finishing this key. And thankfully, I don't think we get any score for it, though. Let me just check here. Check and see. We had 35 deaths here. But you can see how crazy that was. Like, we had that key on lockdown. We had it until we got to the second last boss. And then we got 35 deaths. We had 2 deaths until the second last boss. And then we ended the key with 35. So that tells you kind of how bad that third boss was. It was kind of insane, right? How much damage he ended up doing. So that's the Necrotic Wake in a nutshell. Do I have the key here? Let me just see. I don't. We did a couple of other keys afterwards, but it was a good key. It's fine. I just wanted to give you guys some tips and tricks there, especially with using the spears and the orbs. So make sure you double orb that nasty pack, or skip it if you can. But if you can't skip it, use double orbs on it. And then we pulled way too much trash, so don't pull as much trash as we did. And then you're going to need to buckle up for that third boss. Blow Bloodlust, use your cooldowns, use the spears that you've accumulated on the third boss, destroy that thing as best you can, because it is a nightmare of a fight. And then the fourth boss is the same as it's always been, okay? I hope that helps you guys with some tips and tricks for Necrotic Wake. Happy hunting in Mythic Plus. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to do lots of other dungeon guides for you with tips and tricks, so stay tuned for more of those. And thank you so much again for watching. Love y'all. I'll see you in the next one.